Now welcome back. Okay. Now we have studied up till the new chapter, that is chapter 1, reproduction in organism. Today we will start the new chapter, that is chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay. Now from the title we can define, as we are already just familiar with all these terms in the first chapter. So we have to study in detail about only the plants, how the sexual reproduction occurs, which are all the phases in the flowering plants. Okay. Now as you know that here the first, what is meant by reproduction, that we have already discussed in the previous chapter. So what is reproduction? The formation of the new offsprings of its own kind for the continuity of the species from one generation to next. That is known as reproduction. Now here we are, what is the title? Sexual reproduction means what? As we have seen, there are two types of reproduction, but here we have to study about sexual means what? If two different gametes are involved, it can be on the same individual, that is bisexual, or it can be a different individual, unisexual. Okay, so if two different gametes are involved and they produce the offsprings, that method is known as sexual reproduction. Okay, and that we have to study in what? Flowering plants means what? In the angiosperms. Okay, as you know that in this class of the angiosperm, most of all the flowering plants are involved. Okay, so in the flowering plants we have to study about the flower, because you know that flower is only the reproductive part of the whole plant as compared to root, stem and leaves. To increase its species from generation to generation, flower is only the part. Therefore, we have to study the plants which have the flowers, okay, and have the reproductive parts. So, for that, how they increase the new offsprings? By the sexual method, that is by male gamete and female gametes, that we have to see. Okay, so shall we start the chapter now? Okay, so first we will go through some points. Okay, now as we know that, as we have seen the flowers on the plants. Okay, so what is the importance and why there is a need of the flower on the plant? Have you ever thought about it? Flowers are not for our purpose existing on the earth, okay, for our selfishness, but it is there for continuation of its own species from one generation to another. So if flower is not there, then how its generation will increase? Okay, by the sexual method, because as you know that flower, from the flower what is formed, as we have discussed in the previous chapter, fruit and seed are formed. That is, from ovary fruit is formed, from ovule seed is formed. So this seed, when falls on the favorable condition, that is on the soil, okay, then it will again give rise to a new plant. Okay, therefore flower is not for our selfishness, but it is for continuation of its own species. Okay, now example here I have taken here about the lotus flower. Now as you know that lotus flower is a very beautiful flower with a good fragrance. Okay, but have you ever thought and imagined that there is an amazing fact in it? What amazing fact? That they have the pollen grains which have produced viable seeds. Now what is this term viable known as? So viable means what? They are capable of reproduction. That is, they are fertile. They are capable of reproduction for the prolonged period of time. So such seeds are known as viable seeds. So these pollen grains of the lotus can produce the viable seeds, okay, which can live, okay, for many years. So if they can live for many years, obvious that the flowering will be also for many years. Okay, and you know about that about one god, that is a Brahma. Okay, as you have heard about it. Okay, it is just a place where the Brahma sit on this lotus flower. Okay, so why it is sitting on the lotus flower? As the viability of the seed is increased, the lifespan of the flower also increased, and as the lifespan of the flower increase, this power, it is just being getting to the Brahma also. Okay, the Brahma's lifespan is also increasing by that. Okay, so this is the main reason I am taking about just a common example. So here the Brahma is sitting on the lotus, it is a spiritual, but we have found a science here. Okay, what is the science behind that? That is, it produces a viable seeds which can live for a long period of time and which increases the lifespan. Okay, now as we know that the flowers which are arranged on the branches of the tree, what it is known as, the arrangement of the flowers on the branch of the tree, it is known as inflorescence. Now as we have earlier studied in the 11th standard, there were two types of inflorescence, racemose and cymose. Racemose and cymose is what? One is having the unlimited growth and one is having the limited growth. That is the two types of inflorescence. Okay. Now as already we have discussed, so we will not go in detail about the inflorescence. Just we have to go to definition. That arrangement of the flowers on the branch of a tree or a plant, it is known as inflorescence. Okay. Now as you know that flowers are very much colorful and attractive and with a good fragrance. Why is it so? Why they had been given with such a good colorful? Okay. The main reason is what? If the color and good fragrance will be there, then all the pollinating agents like insects, birds, they will be attracted. And if they will attract, what happens? The pollen grains will stick to it. And when they move from one flower to another, these pollen grains are also being transferred. Because this transfer of pollen grains from the anther, okay, to the another flower, that is stigma of the another flower or of the same flower, that is known as what? Pollination. So if pollination will arise, then the fertilization will occur. And if the fertilization will arise, then only the fruit and seed formation will be there. Okay. Therefore, the flowers are made colorful. Now, here the question arises. Okay, ma'am, flowers are also colorful, but some flowers are there which are not so good developed, not having so attractive flower. Then, there the pollination will not happen. No, it will happen. So, there, as they are not attractive, so insects will not attract here. But, if we talk about the grass, grass is a simple, plant which is having not colorful flower. Okay, it is having a very poorly developed flower. Okay, not so attractive. So here wind and act as a pollinating agent to transfer the pollen grains. If we talk about the aquatic plants, there the water act as a medium for the pollinating agents. Further in this chapter in detail, we will study further how many pollinating agents and which are the pollinating agents are there. Here just you remember why the flowers are colorful. So it is just for pollination, which will help in the fertilization and which will help in the formation of fruit and seed. Okay. Now as you know that besides this pollination and the fertilization, flowers are also used in some religious purpose, in some cultural purpose, okay, and as an ornamental also. For example, you know about the rose and jasmine as used in an ornamental. And whenever any religious functions is there, okay, there also we use the flower, okay. It is also used to express the feelings, okay, of one's love, affection, about this happiness also, about grief and mourning. Okay, so it is also used for expressions of the feelings like all that we have seen. So this is the importance of the flower and why it is existing on the earth. So we have just gone to a brief introduction why flower is required or needed on the plants. Okay, now in the next lecture we will study what is meant by flower, definition of the flower in the biological terms. Okay, what are the different events which occur in the flowering plants. Okay, thank you.